Next up, Ashton. Why is our current O-line coach not succeeding, and who could possibly replace? So this was done 4 days ago. And if you're watching this, that means it was 6 days ago. So this is obviously before the Dennison situation popped up. But I do like Phil Rauscher, the assistant offensive line coach he brought in last year. I like that he's worked under Bill Callahan before. I think that a lot of the same concepts that Callahan, who has run in Cleveland last year, Washington before, Dallas before that, Jets before that, are applicable to the Vikings offensive line. So hopefully that rubs off. And other than that, I don't know. Bring in Aaron Cromer. I think he's still a free agent out there. Why not? Brady Drescher. If you could bring back, re-sign one former Viking currently on a different NFL team, who would it be and why? Pat Elflein. Nah, just kidding. So the Vikings are very good at letting guys go right at their expiration date, or maybe a little bit before. I mean, Xavier had a decent resurgent year last year. I don't think I would bring Xavier back. Not Waynes. Not Cordero. I mean, given the Pierce situation, maybe Linval, but Pierce is going to be back and fine. But that would be funny, though. You'd have Linval, Pierce, and Diesel. Just like, screw it. We're running a 5-2. You are not gaining another yard. You're going to remember when you played the Titans. Tavion Granderson. Is this the Vikings team with the most attitude swagger you've seen in a while? The whole team seems confident. I wouldn't say like boisterous attitude swagger. I think that the Vikings overall are quiet professionals. I think they take the lead from the team leaders. You look at Harrison, you look at Kendricks, you look at Daniil, guys that just take care of their business. Swagger, and maybe a little bit of swag. I mean, Justin Jefferson coming in, hitting the gritty. That's right. And that just sort of having a groundswell. Kirk Cousins suddenly has a little bit of swag. Adam Thielen as well. So maybe. But I think that this team does have its ego in check, which is phenomenal. They're humble. They're confident, but they are humble heading to the year. Harifine. Sorry if I asked this question last Q&A, but I phrased it wrong. Where would you rank Darasaw in the 2020 tackle class? Specifically left tackles? Nah, may as well include Tristan Wirfs. So are we talking about not even taking into account the 2020 season, or as of right now? Well, let's go before the 2020 season. I would have ranked him. So I really liked Wirfs. I really liked Dredrick Wills. Mekhi Becton was really up in the air. I would put. I really like Andrew Thomas. I think Andrew Thomas will work out, but obviously it didn't work out with the Giants last year. So I would have gone Wirfs, Wills, Darasaw, Becton. No, Thomas Becton. Yeah. Because Becton, I mean, he was high variance, man. He definitely came out on the upper side of standard deviations. There you go. Matt G. If you could pick one from their prime for 2020, Jared Allen or Chris Dolman, who you taking? Ooh, this one's tough. So I watched every single Jared Allen game with the Vikings. I was kind of a kid when Chris Dolman was here. But Chris Dolman, for a while, like, he was up there in terms of regards for edge rushers with Lawrence Taylor. Like, that's no cap either. Like, Chris Dolman, RIP, Hall of Famer for sure. So I actually might go with Chris Dolman, even though I don't have the experience of watching every single Chris Dolman snap. He was a terror. Like, he was. If you read the book The Blind Side, Lawrence Taylor obviously changed the game in terms of the value of the left tackle, but you read into what Bill Walsh and the Niners did in the playoff game against Chris Dolman, multiple playoff games, and yeah, Chris Dolman was basically Lawrence Taylor, sort of interchangeable at that time. Lazy L. Should the Vikings trade for Xavier Howard? Yes. I understand that the cornerback room is pretty stacked. I will take Xavier Howard, though. I think Xavier Howard, top 5 cornerback, maybe even top 3. Like, he is one of the best in the game. Plus, I would pay him because I don't really care. Miles, should the Vikings trade Alexander Master and the Rams for a 3rd or 4th round pick? 3rd, no. 4th, no. More, maybe. John Anderson TV. Which player are you most excited to see come training camp and preseason? Also, who do you think has a good chance of just popping off this season? I'm excited to see Kellen Mond. Like, I understand that that's the the very easy answer, but Kellen Mond, see if he runs with the 2, see him in preseason, and you get a lot of highs with Mond, you get some lows, you get some inconsistency there, and also I guess the offensive line. I mean, Darasaw, hopefully that groin is good to go. Wyatt Davis, no matter what, is that knee truly 100%? Let's go. Zach and EJ. Is Kirk good enough to win a Super Bowl with this team? Yes. If he was on a different team, like say Cousins was on the Texans, no, absolutely not. Or even like a decent team. Say Kirk was on Washington. I don't think he wins the Super Bowl there. Back on Washington. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if Kirk was back with the Washington football team, yeah. Soy sauce. That's a good name, by the way. Would the Vikings be ready to play right now without training camp or adding more additions to the team? I mean, theoretically, sure. I think the offense might be a little discombobulated, although they look pretty tight in OTAs. But the reason why you have training camps is that you sharpen things up, tighten things up, and also you go through slow. It is progression, because if they had to play a game right now, if like the NFL just started today, there would be so many like pulled hamstrings and soft tissue injuries, because you have to condition the body, get ready into game shape. Like, there's a reason why these dudes who are the top 1% of the top 1% of athletes in the world, but they still have to get into game shape. There's just a different rhythm and tempo of a game situation. Andrew Benson, will you be uploading any poker related content before or after the season? Awesome Vikings videos, by the way. Keep up the good work. Maybe. It's a project that I probably should have thought of at the start of the off season, because I do enjoy the game. But so a lot of the vloggers, and there's a lot of really successful poker vloggers out there. Andrew Nemi is a stud. A lot of them focus on no limit hold'em. I don't really play too much no limit. I play a little bit of no limit hold'em cash, but I mainly play mix. I mainly play PLO. I play limit. So I don't know. I guess it's a different niche. Yeah, we'll see. TG 5455. Do you think that Kellen Mond will be on the field this season if Kirk Cousins struggles, or if the Vikings are out of the playoff hunt, or never? Maybe. Like, if the Vikings started off like they did last year, and say the Vikings crater and end up 2-7, you could see Kellen Mond. Yeah, if Kirk Cousins is just completely flatlining. Chris Danny Hansen. Which Vikings team had the most talented roster? 98, 09, 2017 this year. On paper, I might say this year, in terms of being a complete team, because 98, obviously the offense was great. The defense had studs, but the defense wasn't a great defense. I mean, you had John Randall, you had Easy Ed McDaniel, you had Robert Griffith, but top to bottom, the defense just wasn't elite. 09 was pretty good. Yeah, the offense was great. Defense, you had the Williams wall, you had Jared Allen, you had Greenway in his prime, you had Twan. So, actually, I might say 09. 2017, that team punched above its weight, and it just really crash landed. But that being said, that 2017 team could have beat the Patriots that would have won the Super Bowl in their home stadium, but Matt Strosity, if Darasaw starts week 1, is all hope lost? No, absolutely not. He's the future, man. And I do understand that starting 2 rookies, it's a little bit iffy, and it would go against the grain of what Zimmer wants to do. But maybe Phil Raucher's like, hey, we're going to start the kids because they have more talent than Rashad Hill and Dakota Dozier, respectively. I'm not beholden to Dakota Dozier, by the way. I'm a bench his ass. I'm going to start Wyatt Davis. I'm going to start Christian Darasaw, and they're going to gel because guess what? They're going to be the offensive line for the next 10 years, so may as well start things now. That's right. Brady Drescher. Should the Vikings have promoted Stefanski as head coach and let go of Zimmer back in the day? I still have this conspiracy theory in the back of my head, and we've heard enough rumblings that substantiated that if the Vikings did not beat the Saints in the wild card round, Zimmer could have been fired or traded to the Cowboys, and the Vikings would have promoted Stefanski. Like, I believe that conspiracy theory because you look at the timeline of the Cowboys hiring Mike McCarthy. They waited and waited and waited until the Vikings. It was clear that the Vikings were going to retain Zimmer because he won a playoff game. But if they lost to the Saints, Zimmer could have been traded or fired, and then Cowboys hire him, and then Stefanski would have been the dude. History will look back at that as an inflection point. We'll see.